Contestant number one, Jim Burlison, cracking down on crime. Cracking down on crime, Jim Burlison.
The writer Ayn Rand said that the only real power of government is to crack down on crime. What if you don't have enough criminals? You simply make more. You make more laws, making more activities illegal, then you've got more criminals. You crack down on them. Throughout the United States, state and local governments have enacted thousands of laws cracking down on crime. In this speech, I'm going to take a lighthearted look at a few of the more questionable ones. I'm going to divide it into three groups. The first group deals with animals and wildlife. In Vermont, it's against the law to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole. In Florida, it's against the law to have sex with a porcupine. Ouch. In North Carolina, it's illegal to use an elephant to plow a cotton field. Horses could learn a lot from elephants. The elephants obviously had a better legislative lobbyist. I think the North Carolina legislature was afraid not to vote for that law. They know what long memories elephants have. In Baltimore, Maryland, it's against the law to take a lion to the movies. Now, what if they're playing the MGM movie? You know how the movie starts out with a lion roaring? I wonder how many times the Baltimore police were called out to the theater after they played an MGM movie. I wonder imagine what that was like. Sir, we've had reports that a lion has been heard roaring in your theater. Where is it? I don't know. I'm not lying. In Alaska, it's against the law. It's against the law to whisper to someone who's hunting a moose. Rocky, don't shoot. It's Bullwinkle. You can't do that in Alaska. In Minnesota, it's against the law for a person to cross state lines carrying a duck atop their head. I think the medical lobby got that law enacted to make sure that no quacks came into the state. Now the second group I'm going to talk about are laws that Clint Eastwood, when he was running for mayor of Carmel, called killjoy laws. They're laws that just appear to be made just to keep people from having a good time. For instance, in Pennsylvania, there's some old law that you can't sing in the bathtub. In Florida, there's a law that says you can't sing in public if you're attired in a bathing suit. Real killjoy law there. In the town of Ottumwa, Iowa, there's a law that says a man can't wink at a woman that he's never met before. Now imagine a trial on that kind of a charge. Your Honor, I swear I wasn't winking. I'm a one-eyed blinker. In Little Rock, Arkansas, there's a law that says you can't honk your horn at a sandwich shop after 9:00 p.m. So you can't be, in Little Rock, you can't be horny after 9. In Topeka, Kansas, there's a law that says you can't scream in a haunted house. It's also against the law to have snowball fights there. Real killjoy laws. In the town of Oxford, Mississippi, it's against the law to cheer unless you have cause to. Now, that's a pretty subjective standard, but a Toastmasters meeting is always a good reason to cheer, so yay, Toastmasters. Now, the third group of laws I'm going to talk about are ones that are just kind of bizarre. For instance, in Oklahoma, it's against the law to hunt whales. Well, there are no whales in Oklahoma, so that's a really bizarre law. In the town of Rockville, Maryland, it's against the law to remove a building by writing on it. Wow, I guess they must have been using invisible ink. Another bizarre law. In New Hampshire, on Sundays, it's against the law to relieve yourself and be looking up. Apparently they believe that even God wants to make sure you're aiming in the right direction. In the city, in Oregon, it's against the law to take a bath. It's an old law, take a bath unless you're dressed in appropriately attired clothing. Well, if I'm in my birthday suit, will that work? Now, some of these laws actually kind of hit home personal. In Iowa, it's against the law for a woman to be kissed by a man who's wearing a mustache. So I shaved mine off. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this little short tour of American laws. Now, these laws were made with the intent to crack down on crime, but for some of us, it just made us crack up. But I don't want to leave you with the impression that all these laws are useless. Some of them are quite nice. In the city of Pocatello, Idaho, it's against the law for a person to be seen in public without a smile on their face. So I hope this speech has left you with a smile on your face. Thank you.